Hi everybody, it's Geordie from Geordie Colours. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I am back with part 12 of my full book colour along in R.J.Hampson's gorgeous book Awake. This time we have this cute page. It's called Polly and Her Pipe. Now RJ already did this page on his channel if you wanted to have a look. So I thought I would try and do mine slightly differently. I think he did kind of like a red macaw. I'm going to do a blue macaw just to be a little bit different. So I'm going to start with actually her belly and tail here, and we're going to use our yellow markers, or have Y1, Y3 and GY6 for this. Make sure I've got them the right way. And yeah, we're just going to crack on. I think this is quite a fun one to do. She's quite colourful, and I do like her attitude. She's quite, she looks like she's quite a feisty kind of parrot, I think. So I'm going to do her tail. You could choose to do it the blue colours if you wanted. I'm going to do mine in the yellow, just because I feel like when I was looking at some photos of the macaws, because you know I like to look at the photos to get some inspiration. They had kind of yellow tail, or at least this kind of part of their tail was yellow. I don't know if the outside of it looks blue, if that makes sense, but this kind of bit looked yellow, so that's what I'm going for. So just laying in my markers. Always start with my darkest. I don't know why. I know some people prefer to start with their lightest. I prefer to use my darkest first. Okay, now I changed my printer recently, and this printer seems to bleed. The ink seems to bleed a lot more than my other ones, so I have to be a bit more careful. Right, onto my blues. I have PB8, B070 and B050, and I'm going to do this part of her here. These are nice bright blue colours. I think it's going to be, like I say, a fun, bright and colourful page. But as I say, if you want to get a different take on this page, then do go and check out R.J. Hampson's page, because he, as I said, did a colour along on this page as well on his channel, and it turned out super cute and fun. So if you wanted to check that out and try out a different colour combination, that would be cool to see as well. Okay, just gonna add this in here. Trying to work in sections, but you know, there's not a huge amount to colour today, really. You can see that marker is, no, not the marker, the ink is, I can see it drag. I don't know if you can see it on screen as much as me, but in real life that ink is dragging as I run the marker over. So I can see kind of streaks where that ink is getting picked up by the marker pen. But never mind, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. It just leaves a funny little, almost looks like a brownish kind of streak across the page. I don't know why this printer does that. It's also an inkjet printer. So I don't know why it's doing that, but anyway. It'll be okay. Right. Blend it out a little bit more. I'm going to add the yellow kind of around this ruffle bit as well, just to add a pop of yellow in there. So I'll just get my darkest first. Just add some shadow in there. Then with the Y3. And finally the GY6. Okay, we need to do this blue as well, so we're going to do that with the blues as well. So starting with that PB8, adding my shadows in. And then we're going to blend it out with the lightest. So I can't believe it is Halloween tomorrow. Isn't that crazy? And we are then heading into November. Goodness me. It's going so fast. I honestly can't deal with how fast this year has gone. I know every year seems to go fast, but this year just seems to be like doubly fast. Okay, I'm going to add a touch of green into the top of her head here, because again, when I googled these blue macaws, they had a little bit of a green top of their head, so I'm going to try and incorporate that in here. I have no idea how this is going to turn out, so you know, bear with me if it doesn't look great. It's not the end of the world. We've had a bit of fun colouring. I'm just going to add a little bit of that green, probably right up to her eyeball here. And then I'm going to transition it, hopefully, into the blue. So I'm going to add this darker blue in here. And maybe under her eyes. She looks like she's had a good life, Polly, didn't she? And I'm going to shade out with our mid-tone. Again, I can see those lines. Those black lines are dragging a little bit across my page. Never mind. Okay. I don't want to go over that as much as I would normally. I'm just going to try and blend this blue into this green a little bit more, so it doesn't look quite so. There we go. I think that looks good. I'll do the little feathers on her head in yellow, just to pull that yellow up through her a little bit, so that we get a bit of yellow throughout. Putting that away too soon. And I think I'm going to do this part yellow as well. It's quite easy. I mean, it's all easy colouring, isn't it, this book? But this one today seems to be extra easy for some reason. Don't know why. Okay. Next up, I'm going to do her beak, and again, I googled, and when I googled, the beaks were quite dark grey, so I'm going to use some dark greys. I've got CG209, CG208, and CG207, and I'm going to use these for her beak. Beak is probably the biggest area to colour, isn't it? It's huge. She's got a big beak. I wonder if she talks a lot. There used to be a parrot when I was a kid. I used to go to this park in New Zealand. It was where my grandparents lived, and there was a bit of a kind of a bird area. There were several bird enclosures with different species of birds, and there was one, it wasn't a macaw, but it was a cockatoo, and it talked. And I used to, it was thrilled me every time I saw it. I was like, oh my goodness, it was saying hello to me. I was very little at the time. Small things, but it was so fun. I loved that park. It was such a great park to go to. They had a little train in it as well that you could ride on, like one of those little kids miniature trains. I'm going to pull in another colour. I feel like I need a lighter one, so just bear with me. I'm going to find a suitable colour. What should we go for? I think I'm going to go for CG5 if I can find it. Where are you when I'm looking? Yeah, I'm going to pull in CG5 as well and just add that, because I feel like it needs a little bit more lightness up here as well. Yeah, so I used to love that park. So it had a little train that kids could ride on, which I absolutely loved, and it had a little boating lake just a tiny one, but it was, well, I say tiny, it was big enough. And you had the little, like, you know, the pedal boats. I used to love it. So my grandparents would take me there, and my granddad in particular, and it was so much fun. But yeah, I remember the birds as well. And there was this one cockatoo who used to chat away to people as they walked past. Oh my goodness, sorry. I've got all sorts of noises going on outside today. Every time I sit down to record, it's like they're just waiting for me to decide to do something, and then they all come past. I'm gonna just try and blend this out a little bit more. Just feel like my blends aren't quite so smooth as they could be. And I think we'll go back down the way as well. You could go all sorts of colours with this one, couldn't you? Because it kind of lends itself to nice, bright, happy colours. Okay, I feel like I've done her beak a bit darker than I wanted to, but it's okay, we'll live with that. You could, of course, go in with a slightly lighter colour. Too late for me now, but yeah. Bear it in mind if you want to go slightly lighter than I did. I'll do her feet the same colour. I think I'm going to skip out the CG208 and just go to the CG207, and then try and leave a little bit of room for that CG5. Just to make sure it's not too dark. I do feel like it went a little bit darker than I wanted. Okay, I haven't got much left to do, have we? I think I'm going to do her eyeball, but I'm going to just use the two lightest colour, not her eyeball, but her eyelid, I should say. We're going to do those in grey as well. I'm just going to use the two lightest colours for that. That's the CG207 and the CG5. I'll just go in a little bit more with that darker one. There we go. Okay, let's do the branch she's sitting on. So let's pull out some browns. I have YR92 and E310 for this. I feel like I've done the shadow on the wrong side there. Never mind. I don't know what I'm doing today. I'm all over the place, but hey ho. It's only a tiny area, so it doesn't matter too much. And let's do her pipe in these same browns as well. Well, I've got them here. Blend that out a bit. Okay, and then we'll just do the leaves. I'm going to use those same greens that I pulled out for the top of her head. So I have GY2 and G170. And the leaves are quite small, so we're just going to add a little bit of colour to those. Blend that out. Okay, gosh, it's almost done. That did not take long at all today. Just going to add a little touch of shadow to this smoke here. So I've got CG200. It's a very pale grey, and we're just going to add a touch. Just kind of, I want it to look white, but adding a touch of shadow kind of helps it pop a little bit more and does kind of almost make it look more white, if that makes sense. Kind of emphasizing those curves as well. Make it look a little bit more cartoon-like. Kind of filling it in a bit more at the bottom so it's blending out as it goes up. Yeah, there we go. Okay, just need to add all our other details in really. So let's start with some gold gel pen. What size? I'm going to go with this one. I've got the Signo Uniball gel pen in the gold metallic colour. And I'm going to add that to her pipe details here. So she's got a little bit of gold on her pipe. Just for a bit of extra fun. And some white Sakura Jelly Roll pen in the size 10 to add some highlight details to everything. So definitely around her beak here. Like that would be nice and shiny. Do a little bit on the underside as well. Maybe on the top of her head. And her feathers. I'm not sure if that was the best place for it, but oh well. It's done now. A little bit down here. Around the top of her pipe. I never quite know where to put this gel pen. I kind of just go a little bit willy-nilly with it and add it in various places and hope for the best. It generally doesn't turn out looking too bad. I don't think it can go too wrong really. A little bit down her feathers here. I don't think you can see it a great deal on the yellow, but we'll add it in there, and then just a little bit around her feet as well. And yeah, that's pretty much Polly all done. Didn't take too long. Oh, did it? Should we add some glossy accents to her eye? Just to add a little bit of something extra. Where are my glossy accents? Here they are. Let's see if I can get them out without them going all over the place. I always struggle with my glossy accents. Always seems to be clogged up. And it is. Wouldn't you know? Let's pull out a pen and see if we can unclog it. Sometimes that's easier said than done. Sometimes it takes several attempts to unclog it. Let's see if I can get that going. Oh yeah, that's working. So we'll add some glossy accents just over her eye here. And get it in the right spot. That'll do. Yeah. Easy peasy today. Goodness, that did not take long at all. There we are, Polly and her pipe. You could of course add some background, maybe add a few little clouds or something. I'm just going to leave mine as is because, you know, for me this book is all about being as simple and easy and stress-free as possible. So backgrounds stress me out. Well, not stress me out, but I struggle with background sometimes, so let's just come with the colour of the image and leave it at that. So there we go, Polly and her parrot. I hope you enjoyed that one. Thank you so much for joining me today, and happy colouring everybody. Bye.